The Silver Eagle! A cry of the wild, a trail of danger, a scarlet rider of the Northwest Mounted serving justice with the swiftness of an arrow. The Silver Eagle! The untamed North, frontier of adventure and peril. The lone, mysterious North, where one man dedicated to the motto of the Canadian Northwest Mounted Police faces danger and death to bring in the lawless and maintain the right. The most famous Mountie of them all, the Silver Eagle. The transcribed record and events dealing with our Silver Eagle case after this message. And now our Silver Eagle adventure, Blood Brother. As the Canadian Pacific train roared westward, two men sat talking in one of the forward coaches.
What's the name of this bird we're coming to, Charlie?
Buffalo Bend. Ought to be there pretty soon.
Sooner the better, as far as I'm concerned. There's too many people on this train.
Don't worry, no one's recognized us so far.
Are you sure that brother of yours will take us in?
Positive. We can count on Bert.
Thought you told me you and him never got along.
We don't. That don't mean he'd turn his brother away when I'm in trouble. I'll give him a sob story. Tell him I've seen the error of my ways. He'll come through.
What's he do for a living?
Got a little two-bit stock ranch. Does some farming in summer and runs a trap line in the wintertime.
You don't live in town, then, huh?
No. 10 miles north of Buffalo Bend.
How are we going to get out there?
They'll have a livery stable in town. We'll get a couple of horses and ride out.
Buffalo Bend, next stop.
It means us, Hoke. Come on, let's get our coats on.
Après de ma blonde, qu'il fait bon, fait bon, fait bon. Après de ma blonde...
Morning, Joe. Where can I find a Silver Eagle?
Son of a gumdrop, I don't even know he'd be lost.
Oh, none of your witch, Big Moose. I have important news for him.
He inside post last time Joe see him. What's the matter?
Come on, and you'll hear for yourself.
Jim! Hey, Jim!
Yes, what is it?
That fellow from livery stable come here. He say he got big news. He hear it from the horses.
Oh, it's you, Mike. What's up?
I think I found him, Sergeant.
Found whom?
Them two fellas on the reward notice. Charlie Foreman and Hoke Burns.
Bleu, they be wanted for murder.
You mean they're in town?
They were about a half hour ago.
Son of a gumdrop, why don't you come tell Jim half hour sooner then?
Because I didn't recognize them at first, that's why.
Where did you see them?
At the livery stable. Came there bold as brass and hired two horses.
You're sure it was them?
Do I have two eyes in my head? Of course. They've grown whiskers. That's why I didn't know them right away. But then, when one of them went to pay me, I noticed a tattoo on the back of his right hand.
A snake and a skull?
Yeah. The moment I laid eyes on it, I said, there's something queer about that tattoo. It ought to mean something. Finally, I remembered. I read about a tattoo like that on the reward notice.
Charlie Foreman has the tattoo.
I know. He's a 6-foot blonde, and the other one's dark-complected. I went up to the post office and read the notice again before I came here, just to make sure.
Any idea where they went?
No, I didn't watch when they rode away.
If they hired horses, they must be planning to ride out of town.
Oui, but if they don't have horses when they come here, how you suppose they get here?
By train. The 10:15 from Saskatoon got in just about 40 minutes ago. Come on, let's get sampled. We'll see if we can pick up their trail.
That must be my brother's place up ahead.
I still think we'd do better south of the medicine line.
Sure, if we had money. We're almost broke. So we'll hide here for a few months till we're old news, and we'll slip across the border.
We'll need money then, just as bad as we do now.
We'll get our hands on some. We always have. The only one thing I'm worried about is how Bert's wife will act.
His wife? You didn't tell me he was married.
He got hitched last year. I've never seen her. I reckon Bert will keep her in line.
You better be right.
Whoa, whoa. Let me do the talking.
You'll have to. I wouldn't know what to say.
Good afternoon.
Afternoon, ma'am. Is Bert here?
Why, yes. Won't you come in?
Sure. Come on, Hoke.
Thanks, ma'am.
Who is it, Meg?
Two men to see you, Bert.
Okay, be right there. What the...
Howdy, Bert.
Charlie. Where in heaven's name did you come from?
We just hit town this morning.
I suppose your pal there is Hoke Burns.
You guessed it.
Don't you know they're looking all over Canada for you, too?
That's why we came here, Bert. We're in a tight spot.
Crazy fool.
Bert, what's this all about?
This man is my brother, Meg.
Your brother.
He goes by the name of Charlie Foreman.
Well, is that supposed to mean something to me?
It should if you saw that reward notice in town. He and his pal are wanted for murder.
Murder? Oh, no.
He's always been in some kind of trouble. That's why I never told you about him. Just got out of prison a little while before we were married. And a month ago, he shot a bank guard in Winnipeg.
He went for his gun, and I had to plug him.
All you meant to do was stick up the bank.
I needed money, can't you understand? I wanted to go down to the States and make a fresh start.
How many times have I heard you say that?
Don't be hard on me, Bert. This time I've learned my lesson. When I saw that bank guard go down, well, I've had nightmares ever since.
You've learned your lesson too late.
Bert, you wouldn't let me down. I'm your brother. If they catch us, I'll hang. I'm in a spot, can't you understand? We need a place to hide out.
You expect me to let you stay here?
Just for a little while, till they forget about us, then we'll clear out. Come on, Bert, say you'll help us.
I'll leave it up to Meg.
No, Bert, no. I can't take the responsibility. You'll have to decide for yourself.
All right. Just for a few days. And you'll have to clear out and take your chances.
It looks to me like we're not going to find those two fellas so easy, Jeep.
I'm afraid you're right. That's why I want to talk to our Indian friend.
Maybe they head for Beaver Hills. Country be wild up that way. Make good hideout.
That could be the answer. But as far as we know, they have no supplies.
That's right. You think they got friends round here?
They could have. We'll have to question all the settlers.
Maybe Asian Wolfjaw tell us something.
Yes, let's see if he's in his lodge.
Here he come now, Jeep.
Watch here.
Watch here, Wolfjaw. Have you been here at your lodge all day?
Why you ask?
We're looking for two white men. They're strangers in these parts. They both have much hair in their faces. They're riding horses. Have you seen them?
No, me not see. Them bad men?
Yes, they're wanted for murder. Would you do me a favor, Wolfjaw?
Silver Eagle friend to old Red Man. Me glad help, Wabishakwe. What you want Wolfjaw do?
Carry the news to your village. Ask them to be on the lookout for the two white men.
If them see white men, where may find you?
We plan to stop at every cabin in these parts. But we'll follow the river and try to cut their sign. You'll be able to find us. Let's go, Joe.
What's the matter, Meg? You hardly said a word since we finished supper.
I'm sorry, Bert. I'm worried.
I know how you must feel having those two under the same roof with us.
Just hope you made the right decision.
What else could I do? He is my brother.
In your place, I'd probably feel the same way, but the fact remains. Oh, Bert, do you suppose it's a...
Easy now. I'll go answer it.
Evening, Bert.
Pop Jenkins. Good evening.
Mind if I step inside?
Oh, no, of course not. Come in.
Why, Pop,
Evening, Meg.
goodness, we haven't seen you in a long time.
That's a fact. Just thought I'd stop by to see if you folks heard the news yet.
What do you mean?
About them two killers.
Two killers?
Yeah, Charlie Foreman and Hoke Burns. The ones they had the reward notice up for. They were seen today in Buffalo Bend.
Really?
Yep. There was plenty of excitement in town. One of the fellows at the trading company store said he thinks he's seen them head north.
Well, we'd better keep our eyes open for them.
We sure will. But how come you were in town, Pop? Stocking up on supplies?
Nope. I took in a bunch of pelts. I figure I'm through walking the trap line.
What are you going to do?
Go back to Ontario. Good old Essex County. Weather ain't so harsh down in them parts, you know.
Do you have relatives there?
Nope. But I got more than $6,000 saved up. Got it right here in my pocket, in fact. Just drew it out of the bank today. I reckon that'll be enough to end my days in comfort.
That's a lot of money. You better be careful with it.
Don't you worry about that.
Well, sit down and let me fix you a cup of tea.
Well, now, that's right kind of you, Meg. I can't stay long, but I reckon I can stay that long.
Meanwhile, in an attic room, Charlie Foreman and Hoke Burns had heard the old man enter the ranch house and had moved to a position where they could hear the conversation in the room below.
Hey, did you hear what that old coat said?
About that $6,000?
Yeah.
We could use that money.
If we ever got our hands on it.
That can be arranged.
How?
While he's drinking tea and gabbing down there, we'll slip out the back window. And after he leaves here, we'll trail him and bushwhack him.
Let's go.
Back to our thrilling Silver Eagle adventure in just a few seconds. But first, listen to this. Now back to the Silver Eagle, Sergeant Jim West of the Mounties, and his stirring adventure, Blood Brothers. Long after nightfall, the Silver Eagle and Joe Bedeau gave up the search for the two outlaws and made camp for the night near the bank of the river.
Hey, Jim. Don't you want this other caribou steak?
No, thanks. I've had enough to eat.
Well, I'm a gumdrop. Can't let that go to waste. Guess I'm going to have to eat that one, too. Don't know if I can or no.
Why not? You've only had 5 steaks.
You know, I bet you that's why I still feel hungry. You sure you don't want him?
No, I've had plenty.
Okay, donkey. That reminds me, Jim. What you suppose happened to those two fellows?
I wish I knew. We've been following the river all day. If they headed north, we should have cut sign on them by this time.
Maybe they don't come so far as the river.
In that case, they must have found a hideout somewhere between here and Buffalo Bend. Tomorrow morning, we'd better start working back over the...
Hey, do I hear something, or was that me chewing?
No, that was a voice that came from the river. There's someone out there in a canoe. Better go see who it is.
Wait a little minute, Jim. I come with you. Eat that Indian, Wolfjaw.
Here we are, Wolfjaw.
Hey, what that he got in his canoe?
We'll soon find out. Come on, let's give him a hand.
Sacre bleu, that be man's body.
Oh, Jacques. Me find him on riverbank.
Who is it, Wolfjaw?
Him white man, old trapper fella. Someone shoot him.
It's Pop Jenkins. Is he dead?
No, but him hurt bad. Silver Eagle make strong medicine. Maybe save him.
All right, let's get him over to the campfire.
I shall carry him. Up you come, Pops.
Silver Eagle.
Hello, Bert.
Bonsoir, mon ami.
Howdy, Joe.
Sorry to rouse you this time of night, Bert, but I'm hoping you can give us some information.
About what?
About Pop Jenkins.
Pop Jenkins?
Yes, he was shot sometime tonight.
Great Scott. You mean he's dead?
Man, no, but he almost be dead. Ancient find him, and Silver Eagle save his life.
He couldn't tell us much. He came to for a few moments and mumbled something about stopping off here at your place.
Yeah, that's right. He came here right after supper.
And what did he come for?
He's an old friend of ours. He came to warn us about those 2 killers, Charlie Foreman and Hope Burns. He told us they were seen in Buffalo Bend this morning.
Did he also mention some money?
The money he drew out of the bank today? Yes. He said he was planning to leave the territory. Said he was going to quit trapping and go to Ontario.
Do you happen to know how much money he had?
Yeah, over $6,000.
Sacre bleu, he don't got 6 cents now.
You mean he was robbed?
He must have been. The money's gone.
Oh, no. Where is he, Sergeant?
He was too weak to be moved, so we left him back at our camp. An Indian's taking care of him.
Have you any idea who did it?
That don't be hard to figure out with those 2 killers on the loose.
What are you going to do?
The Indian told us where he found Pop, so we're going there. We may be able to pick up their trail in the morning.
Is there anything I can do?
No, thanks, Bert. You've helped us already, but keep an eye out for those 2.
I sure will, Sergeant.
Come on, Joe.
Oui, mon ami. Steady there, mon ami.
Steady, Battle. Here.
Up there. All right, let's go, Battle. Up, my dear.
As the Mountie and Joe rode away, Bert stood for a moment, watching them disappear into the darkness, his face grim and pale in the light of the oil lamp which he carried in one hand. Then he went back in the house. His wife, Meg, and the 2 fugitives were waiting for him.
Who was it?
Sergeant West of the Mounties.
The Silver Eagle.
Oh, you've heard of him.
I'll say I've heard of him.
What did he want? Was he looking for your brother?
No. He came to ask about Pop Jenkins.
Pop Jenkins? Well, what's wrong with him?
He was bushwhacked and shot after he left here tonight.
Oh, Bert, how awful. Was he killed?
No.
How did it happen?
I reckon these two can answer that one.
You mean...
What do you mean by that?
You know what I mean. You and Hoke sneaked out of the back window while Pop was here talking to us.
Well, sure, but we explained why. We thought it was the law.
Yeah, sure. We was afraid they might search the house, so we ducked out. Then we waited till we figured the coast was clear, and then we came back.
You're lying.
What are you driving at, Bert?
You heard what Pop told us about that $6,000 he drew out of the bank. So you sneaked out and laid for him after he left here.
That ain't so.
What kind of a fool do you take me for? I might have known that a pair of mangy killers like you would run true to form.
Hey, now, better calm down, Bert. You're talking kind of wild.
Am I? Then suppose you let me search you and make sure you haven't got that $6,000. Well, what are you standing there looking at each other for?
Looks like you got more brains than I gave you credit for, Bert, so I reckon the only thing to do is this.
Put that gun away, Charlie.
Yeah, you think I'm afraid to use it just because you're my brother?
You dirty sneaking polecat.
What's the next move, Charlie?
We got the money, and we need the Mounties have our number, so it's time to head for the medicine line.
You won't get away with this. They'll pick up your sign where you ambush Pop Jenkins.
Then in that case, we better take along a hostage, just in case. Grab her, Hoke.
Come here, you.
Let go of me.
Boy, you dirty...
No, you don't.
No!
Oh, Bert!
Nice work, Charlie. That gun barrel laid him out cold.
Tie your hands and let's clear out of here.
Rain up, Joe.
What's the matter, mon ami?
I've been doing some thinking since we left Bert's place. How did those outlaws know Pop Jenkins was carrying all that money?
Maybe they find out in Buffalo Bend.
No, they couldn't, Joe. We know they went from the train station direct to the livery stable and then rode out of town. They had no chance to learn about Pop.
Bukush, that's right.
As far as we know, the only persons Pop talked to after leaving town were Bert and his wife. The shooting must have occurred soon after he left their place.
Son of a gumdrop, you don't suppose Bert do it?
I didn't say that. But something else occurred to me. Charlie Foreman has light blonde hair and a cleft chin. So does Bert. And his last name is Forsythe. Foreman, Forsythe.
You think maybe that name Foreman be how you say it, alias?
Alias, yes. Charlie and Bert might be related. And that would explain why Charlie and his pal came here to hide out.
Gushim, I bet you that'd be right.
It's just a hunch, Joe. But I think we'd better go back and have another talk with Bert.
Donkey, donkey, Silver Eagle. Up by the...
Let's go, Battle.
Meanwhile, the two outlaws had tied Meg's hands and also tied and gagged Bert, who was still unconscious. Then they collected a few supplies from the kitchen and took them out to the barn, where Hope proceeded to harness a team to the canvas-covered wagon. Charlie was standing outside the barn, holding a gun on Meg.
You got him hitched up yet, Hoke?
Yeah, all set.
All right, drive him out and let's go.
Get up there. Come on, get up.
All right, climb up there and get in the back of the wagon.
For the last time, won't you please let me stay here with Bert? I promise you we
Get
won't...
moving before I use this gun on you.
Here, I'll pull her up. Now go on, get in back.
How about the supplies?
They're in the back.
And I reckon we're all set. Hey, what was that?
Something hit the barn door.
Give me that lantern.
Here it is.
Hoke,
What's wrong?
come here. It's an arrow.
Arrow.
Yeah, got a feather tied to it.
Charlie, that's an eagle feather. The sign of the Silver Eagle.
Holy mackerel. Do you hear something?
Yeah, and I see something, too. Here he comes.
Come on, let's get back on the wagon.
Hands where you are, the name of the Queen.
It's the Mountie. Let him have it. No! Don't shoot! Don't shoot! Tie him up!
Take that gun, Joe. You're both under arrest in the name of the Queen. Put that rope around his feet, Joe.
Donkey, donkey, Silver Eagle. Voila.
All right, you can stand up now, Bert.
Thanks.
Quite a bump you got on your head.
Yeah, that's where Charlie hit me with his gun. And if he hadn't slugged me, I'd feel like slugging myself.
Don't blame yourself, Bert. We both should have known better. It was a bad mistake.
Yeah, a mistake that'll send me to prison.
Relax, Bert. I'm not going to arrest you. It's obvious from what happened that you weren't a willing partner to your brother and Hoke, and I think you've already paid for your mistake. If the court wants to take any action, well, you have a good record, and I don't think you have too much to worry about.
Whatever happens, Sergeant, I won't forget how you saved Meg. And we'll both be mighty grateful to the Silver Eagle. We'll never repeat that mistake.
Repeat mistake. Now, that reminds you. I cook 5 steak for breakfast. You say we got to ride. I mistake. Noon, I cook 5 more. You say we got to come here. I mistake. Look like Joe make more mistake than anybody. That makes me hungry.
Today's story of the Great Northwest was written by James Lawrence. Jim Amici stars in the part of Jim West. Joe Badeau is played by Jacques Lister. The Silver Eagle is a copyrighted transcribed feature of Jewel Radio and Television Productions. This is Bill O'Connor.